Why can't I leave?
That would go against my plans. You can try, certainly, but I will use everything in my power.
I understand. And I walk back into the room,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to point at Lalos. Lalos, what is your game?
So,
I am unable to leave.
So, like, you come back into the room and you point at him, and he's right in the middle of the discussion. Alan is going, look what I can do. And it's like, it's turning into, like, different forms. Like, it's turning into, like, spikes and, like, growing into a hammer and growing into, like, I don't know, like, a chair that can support people and stuff. And the wizard's, like, quite impressed, the upper nobility. And you come back in and point. You, Jovan and Deidre turn around, and Kajos turns around, and they're like, what? And they all turn around. And Lalos goes, what do you mean, Merek?
I told you, you can't control it. I am unable to leave.
Merek, calm yourself. You're being hysterical. Perhaps you need to lie down. The guards can take you up to the sitting room upstairs.
I want to go home.
Of course. The guards will gladly escort you back to your home. Please.
Yes, but will your alloy let me go home?
Of course. Why would it not?
Come with me.
And a couple of people are milling about, and Lalos goes, "This is."
There are 5 faces of alloy out there preventing me from leaving.
So you guys hear that, and the guests are like starting to mumble back and forth to each other, and Lalos goes, "Merek, please relax. You are seeing things that aren't there. You're hysterical. Whatever illness has afflicted you, I'm certain we can cure it. Just let's go back to the sitting room and rest."
Now I'm going to try to appease.
I'm
going to look at Jovan and say,
I will gladly take care of my brother-in-law to the best of my ability.
people, please, you must understand, we are being held here against our will.
And the people like look back and forth to each other, and Lalos goes, "Do not listen to him. He is hysterical, fellow patrons. You can leave if you wish. Please do. I urge you. I wouldn't want you to leave before you taste the wonderful roast we have prepared."
Lalos paints me as a fool. Would he invite a fool to be his guest of honor? Certainly I am worth some manner of trust.
I'm going to make my way through the crowd while he's talking.
Oh, you misunderstand me, Merek. I don't think you a fool. I merely think you afflicted. People such as yourself who deal with such complicated practices, their genius haunts them.
Yes, and so you desire to take it away?
No, not at all. I merely ascertain that you are underneath a spell of confusion. By spell, I do not mean magical. I mean, emotional in nature. You are having a fit. I don't wish to insult you by saying this, but seriously, if you feel this way, have a lie down in the sitting room upstairs. When you're feeling up to it, you can rejoin the party. Perhaps you'll
Has
even...
Jovan made his way to the
Yeah,
door?
I'm heading out.
Perhaps
So
you'll even see Eldra.
I'm taking a look out of the door and what do I see where Merek was?
There aren't any faces down there. There's just a single metal orb floating up in the corner.
Did I make it a commotion by leaving, or was I allowed to make my way out?
No, the intention is too focused on them.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna head over to so the orb is floating by the front entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make my way over and say, "Alloy."
No response from the orb.
I'm going to attempt to open the door.
The front door?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're heading back out. Okay.
It's by the front door, right?
It's in the ballroom, and then you're moving back towards the front door. But yeah, you're heading
towards the exit.
So you walk forward and you grab the front door and you open it up. The night sky of Lear stands in front of you.
I don't
mad?
disbelieve
Hothart saw it
Merek.
too! Hothart saw it too!
Hothart is staying quiet.
You don't know what I've seen.
Hothart, didn't you see the faces?
I'm gonna.
Yes.
I'm gonna close the door and make my way back into the hall.
Okay.
And they're still hashing it out in front of the crowd.
Yeah. Yes, and he looks around at the nobles, and Lalos looks down at him and gives him a look, and he goes, I don't know, maybe, I saw him, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna head over to Merek and say, I didn't see any faces out there, and I could open the front door just fine. It's not that I don't believe you, but it may have only just been you that was prevented.
Sitting room, huh?
Yes, upstairs.
Yes, I will lay down in the sitting room.
Good. Yes, the guards will escort you. If you feel better, Jovan, would you mind taking your friend?
Certainly. Well.
Oh, that's right. Only living things. I totally forgot how it worked.
I'll lead you out.
Okay. So you lead him up, back around, and you head up the stairs into the ballroom. What are you doing, Nedriel?
First of all, I look around at the guests that are nearest to me and see which one of them is most disturbed by this if we're in this breach of protocol by someone who's clearly having a fit.
Oh, all the nobles are disturbed.
If there's anyone
Especially because he's the guest of honor.
Yes.
They're just like,
If there's like a female guest who looks like she's even more disturbed than usual, I would try to distract her with some delicious shrimp. It's like, some shrimp, ma'am.
there is an elderly lady who looks just horrified at this breach of decorum. And
It's
she,
like, it's like,
she
"Milady."
nervously takes the shrimp.
Yes, because if I can restore what's expected,
Mhm.
then she might be able to like create that illusion that things are fine.
Yeah.
Like the wealthy always
Yes.
do. So it's like,
Yeah, she pays you no mind and eats shrimp and feels better about herself.
yes, it's like I'm a servant offering you shrimp as it should be. There's no crazy man with a like a weird cat fur guy like making a fuss. It's like this delicious shrimp will make you feel
That
better.
was the only fur he didn't have.
So Hothart, you and Merek make your way up to the second floor, and Hothart goes,
Psych, we go to the front door.
"Oh, okay."
Ooh! Oh, look at you!
Thank you, Jovan.
So you guys make your way to the front door of the manse.
Yeah.
You open it up.
Do we face any resistance?
None
up to the
apparently.
front? I'm going to...
Telling you that Alloy spoke to me, it prevented me from leaving.
Well, let's at least take a look, and I'll let him to open the door.
You open the door. It's the night sky of Lear in front of you.
Percival?
No response.
Something is
Oh, you can't
wrong.
hear him. He's not responding. Because I would hear him respond, yeah.
There's metal in the corner.
There doesn't seem to be metal in the corner anymore. If it is in this room, it's hiding.
Oh, we must find Percival.
Percival's
I would send out Freya to
outside.
look for her, but I would be risking the same fate.
As you stand there at the threshold of the door,
Freya's still in my pocket, just
Yeah.
fine, right?
yeah, Freya's still there. As you stand there at the threshold of the door, the upper door above you to the balcony opens, and Eldra comes down the stairs, or at least peers out a bit, and she looks down and sees you. She's wearing, she's wearing like a fantastic dress, just like dressed in like pure red silk, and it goes all the way down. It's got frills on either side, and it's got like a lovely corsage here. And she peers down over the balcony. And she goes, "Merek, what are you doing here? I mean, of course, yes, you're here. What are you doing? Shouldn't you be with Lalos?" And she starts making her way down the stairs.
Well, I'm going to close the door and say, well, good evening, Lady Eldra.
"Hello, Jovan, right?"
Yes, indeed.
"Yes, I've heard of you." And Hothart looks at her and like peers at her a little bit too long, and she like looks back at him and gives us this gross look. And
Excuse our friend.
Eldra
My
goes,
eyes are up here.
Yeah.
Hoth bars.
And Eldra goes, "Merek, what are you doing? You're not leaving, are you?
No, of course
Why
not.
do you always have to be such a troublemaker?
We
You
were
are
just-
Lalos's honored guest.
We were
You
just
should-
catching some air. We will be returning to the party shortly.
Are you leaving?
I don't know. Depends if I'm able.
Merek, cease this useless paranoia. It does you no good. Why can't you just trust somebody for once?"
The
Trust
last
me.
time I trusted something, bad things happened.
And she looks back and forth and she goes, "Go back. I will emerge in a moment. Lalos wants to present me as his wife."
I don't trust Alloy. How could you think this is a good idea?
Alloy is the next step in a natural process of
Yes, but
evolution.
what of its outbursts? Certainly it's spoken out of turn to you. Doesn't
I-
that hint something? Doesn't that make you think something is off?
I've never heard it speaking out of turn. Of what are you speaking?
It asks me how I would like it if my skin were to be ripped off and made into a handbag.
And Eldra's eyes go up in her head for a minute, and then it's like something clicks in her mind. She goes, "Oh yes. Well, as I'm sure Laos explained to you, there are some malfunctions. They're figuring them out."
How did you figure out the secret to Lalos? Or the secret to Alloy?
Oh, I don't know, but
Did he happen to go down into the depths?
I don't know, Merek. But that's why he needed your help. That's why I was so excited that you'd come to the party, so you could help him out and defend the city and do something good with your life for once.
Defend the city or control the city?
You wouldn't be controlling it. These things aren't meant to control, they're meant to protect.
In what way? Out of fear?
No.
Step out of turn and you are ripped to shreds by metal?
The paradigms do the best they can to keep these three distinct groups of almost insane people in check. Lalo spends day in and day out drinking himself into a stupor in his study, trying to figure out how to solve the interreligious problems of this city. and you yourself go flitting about on adventures with your friends and some dwarves to fantastical far-off places and don't give a care about it at all. My husband is doing his best to keep the city in check.
Why does it need to be solved?
What? Of course it needs to be solved. They would kill each other. Isn't it necessary that these people don't kill each other? That they have a greater good to fight for?
And isn't that their choice?
Of course. But already the Illuminators are starting to see the light, and I'm certain that the Keepers and the Stream Barbarians will come along soon. Merek, look. If you feel anything in your heart for me at all, any affection that comes from us being related, despite the fact that you've kept perfectly quiet over the years, please, help my husband complete his work.
He's trying to be God. He's trying to create life.
He's not trying to be God. He's merely trying to continue the evolutionary process that's already in place.
I disagree with how he's going about it.
Well, he's doing a better job than you ever would.
Maybe. I mean, it's an entirely different field of study. Did you ever think about that?
And she scoffs and goes, do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't even... And she scoffs a bit and she goes... And she peers at you and you see this kind of hatred well up in Eldra that you haven't seen before. And it's almost like the last part of her that was clinging on to any hope of you two ever reconciling just snapped. And she's just like, I don't care. Do what you want. I don't care. And she goes storming back up the stairs. And as she turns around, she looks down at you and she goes, Lavlos was right about you. And she goes back upstairs and slams the door.
With tears welling in my eye, I look to Jovan. I've done it, Jovan.
I've killed the last of my...
Done what, my friend?
Now he'll step and try and attack her. She is safe. Now what do you make of this? Am I mad?
I know not.
I'd like to get out. Can we just leave?
No, but that is not the plan. It is important that we keep this gem from falling into the wrong hands.
You know, I'm starting to think that 10 gold might not cut it here. I'm just saying. I feel like the cat should definitely re-enter into our bargaining.
Cat's not on the table.
Well, he's not on the table yet, but we'll see when it's
Are you gonna betray me?
No.
Thought we were bonding here.
Look,
I thought you were
Hulthbard,
paranoid.
We'll get you another cat.
So you guys stand up there talking by the door for a while, and then eventually, one of the guards comes down. Comes out from somewhere. He goes, "What do you? I thought you were heading up to the sitting room. Paradigm Lalos is wondering what's happened to you.
Oh yes,
Do you not know how to get there? Please
we were
follow
merely
me."
catching some air. No need for concern.
Oh, plenty of air within the sitting room. Come with me. Come with me.
Yes, I can't leave yet. There's a greater evil at play.
Do you let him follow you up? Do you let him lead you upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
So he guides you guys upstairs to the upper room and then guides you into the sitting room that I described before with the pried open window now, but it's been shut. And then the periodicals and the chairs. And the guard bows a bit and goes, "Please, rest here. When you feel able, return to the party." And he leaves, but his metal orb that he had with him remains in the corner.
See, why would he leave the orb?
Now we have to wonder if every orb is alloy.
Keep in mind, until you became aware of alloy having infiltrated all the sentient metal,
Well,
this was
we don't
quite
even know if
normal.
that's-
Because remember, up until this point,
It's
these
kinda funny,
orbs
actually,
are
right?
everywhere all the time.
Yeah, they
like,
are.
if they had done this
They're
like
already part of the
yesterday,
infrastructure.
we would have said, "Oh, of course the guard would leave an orb because it's concerned, and they always leave an orb somewhere because they're just ubiquitous. Like everywhere you go, it's like, oh look, it's one of those orbs."
But now maybe your perception has changed.
To think I might have used the sentient metal in my studies.
Anyway, back down to the
I've been a
art
fool.
room. Lavos continues his presentation of alloy. People are clapping. You're handing out shrimp restoring normalcy.
Yes.
And eventually Lavos goes, "That concludes our first presentation for the evening. Please, let us anon to the ballroom for a round of dancing." And everybody cheers and then starts to make their way in there.
Fantastic. I will follow the lead of the other servants, and I will return to the kitchen for another plate of food.
So on your way back to the kitchens,
Yes.
you notice as you go through the grand ballroom that Mercutio has slipped out of the observatory.
Nice.
And underneath his arm is a partially burned book.
Excellent. Then he has what we
No,
were
no, no.
looking
That is the thing that they wanted you to get, but not let Mercutio get.
Yes, but he has gotten it, which is fine. Because I have bigger fish to fry right now. Because you guys are still here.
But
So,
that book is really important.
first of all, I return to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue to blend in. However, having had some delicious shrimp, I'm feeling a little parched. So I will find a tray of delicious wine or whatever they're serving. And I will begin serving that. But
Okay.
not before I down one myself. Before
Sure.
coming back into the ballroom. And I will spend the next however long it takes until Jovan and Merek return to the ballroom
Mhm.
to just blend in and act as if I was supposed to be here doing exactly my job.
Okay.
Unless I have an inkling from my years of doing nefarious thieving skills or things that I have a certain amount of time before whoever I knocked out would wake up.
Okay.
Because
you think you got him good. He's probably
Okay.
going to be out for a while.
right.
Especially considering he was partially drunk before.
Right, because if he can just stay back there unconscious or asleep, I want to have enough time that I just become like eventually recognized.
Part
like
of the scenery.
yeah, like
Yeah.
basically I show up, like the whoever's in charge of the help says, oh, it's that kid, you know, who,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just gonna keep blending in. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna eat. I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab a piece of food. Probably nothing different than other servants do regularly.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be there and I'm going to listen. I'm going to try to get a feel of the people's reaction, whether they're happy, they're not happy.
Mhm.
I'm going to constantly pay very good attention to Paradigm
Katros.
Uh-huh.
because he's important here. Because clearly the Paradigm are in on this whole thing. And how Katros reacts to this is much more important to me than the important people.
Did Katros react to the unveiling of Alloy, Merek's outburst?
He clapped with it. He didn't seem to really mind about Merek's outburst. He clapped with her alloy, but you got the sense that he already knew what was going on.
Okay.
Oddly enough, you still haven't seen Zavalas,
Yeah.
and he had an invitation.
So Merek's chilling in the sitting room.
So how long are you guys going to stay up there?
I'm gonna head back down to the party. I mean, I don't have any reason to be up here.
I'm
You're saying-
pacing and thinking.
Othart is sitting over in the corner like, never should have taken this job.
Look, if you figure anything out, I'll be downstairs with the people. We can't have both of us disappear. It'd be a little too suspicious.
Thank you, yes. When he leaves, I'm going to look at Hothart. Hothart, you use Iker, correct?
Vicar.
Vicar, yes, Vicar.
Yeah, I do.
Can you describe its effects for me?
Oh gosh, it's like kissing a unicorn on a moonlit night.
No, the melding. The melding part.
Oh, well, you start to feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself, you know? Like, you press your face into something, and then as soon as that happens, it's like you're connected to this whole network of
Like a-
ideas and thoughts,
Like a
feelings. As if anything that ever sat on that chair or touched that fur before is now part of you, and you're part of it. It's a wonder, sir.
Now, do you get any, thoughts from those?
Oh, no, that'd be weird.
You just get that feeling?
Haven't you ever wanted that, to feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself?
I did once. Not anymore. Interesting. Are you holding?
No?
Don't lie to me, Hothart.
Look, boss, if you want some of the vicar, it's gonna cost you a lot more than 10 gold.
Is that expensive?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember that daily wages in Lear is 3 gold a day?
Okay.
So he goes, we're talking, maybe 65 a dose here?
Wait, 65 a dose?
Yeah, like a vial.
Wow.
Keep in mind that the high lasts for a long time, and you can meld with various objects when you use it.
Okay. Because
Also,
It's a classy high.
worse vicar might be sold for lower prices.
okay. 22 days' wages for a drug would make that drug almost inaccessible to most people. It would be the worst drug market ever.
Perhaps.
Because the reason most drugs are such a good thing
Is
is
that they're-
that people can afford it.
Yeah,
It's-
but this is also Hothart's price. So
Okay.
Well, yeah, and also it's like three gold a day is like the lowest wage.
That's true. That's true.
There are a lot higher wages.
So are most vicar addicts high upper class people.
Yeah, and the
It's like
thieves who sell it
cocaine.
who
Yeah.
also get high off their own supply.
Okay.
Hotharts, tell me, have you heard of anyone trying the sentient metal?
No. No, in fact. Well, I mean, unless the follower guards tried it. But I can't see them doing that. I never see them drink, actually, which is kind of weird.
I wonder if I tried the vicar and tried melding with that sentient metal in that corner.
No, I wouldn't recommend it. First-time vicar
gotta be
trip could
fur-
be pretty bad. You can lose sense of yourself if you're not careful.
I'm surprised you haven't tried it with like your fabrics.
They call it falling down the rabbit hole. So you return to the party.
Yes, I do.
As you head back to the party, you can see that, guests are now milling about in the grand ballroom and they're dancing, 2 by 2. going around.
Excellent.
Music is playing. It's a normal
Glad to see
happy
the
time.
spirit has revived.
Yeah. And several girls come over and ask for your hand a couple of times. And they're just like, yes.
Sure, I dance with all of them.
Yeah. You dance with a couple of different maidens. And after you've had your fun for a while, Katros comes over to you and goes, Jovan,
Hello, Kitros.
come with me for a moment. Me and Lalos have something we'd like to discuss with you in Lalos' observatory.
Certainly.
Thanks.
On the way, I'm going to ask him. Say, I haven't seen Zavalast here. I expected him since he invited me. Yeah.
Ah, yes, terrible thing. He had some other business. Got pulled away on something.
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping to learn more about him. He was the first time I'd seen him was when he came to the Doulahan.
Don't worry. I'm sure in the days to come, you two will become close friends.
Ah, that would be wonderful.
And he starts to lead you over toward the observatory. Tell me, Jovan, what do you think of this whole city of Lear? How do you feel about it?
It's a wonder of diplomacy, really. That so many different people can live together in one city and still prosper.
An intricate machine with various parts. We paradigms work hard to keep it that way. We
Yes.
respect people who share our vision. I think you share that vision, don't you, Jovan?
I believe that the good of the many outweighs the good of the few.
Of course, it always does. And he leads you over to the observatory. You open the door there, and Lalos is already seated, away from the ball. There's nobody else in here besides you, Lalos, and Katros. And Katros
This is kind
goes,
of scary.
have a seat, and he shuts the door behind you. And Lalos leans in and goes, Jovan, so happy you could make it tonight. I apologize for not inviting you. To be frank, we were going to talk about this some other time, but seeing as how you acquired an invitation from Zavalas...
Well, no apologies are necessary. I am not offended.
No, it's all right. It actually makes our job a whole lot easier. We're glad that we could also get you away from your associates. Tell me, Jovan, what do you think of them, Merek and who's that other friend that's always running around with you? Oh yes, Dadriel.
They are loyal companions, loyal
see.
compatriots. I am proud to call them my friends.
And do your philosophies differ at all? Would you say? I mean,
Of course.
I'm asking with your god. Do they ever go against your religion directly?
No, I would not say so.
Jovan, let's be frank here. And Katros leans in a bit and goes, we like you. This is Lalo speaking. Goes, we like your god, and we like what you've been doing for the city and for the people of it.
Mm-hmm.
We really do appreciate it.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
But quite frankly, we need to ask you to cease your preachings as they stand. Now, I understand, and I don't want to insult your religion. Far be it from me to do so. But we need you to cease those activities if you're going to work with us on what we have planned here. I assume Katros has already talked to you about your abilities to dismiss magical effects.
Mm-hmm.
How confident would you say you are in those abilities?
As confident as I am of Netro's
An
existence.
image of wine flooding into a cellar flashes into your mind. Excellent.
I still don't understand what that means.
Jovan.
I am absolutely confident.
And then Lalo sends over, I'm about to make you a deal. An offer, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you... And if you accept it, you have to understand that your life would change. But I would hope it would change for the better. You're a good man, Jovan. You can do a lot of good for this city. And people like me and Katros like putting people like you in positions that allow you to have the power to do those sorts of things.
Well, I'm interested.
Now, your attachment to Netro is admirable. And we certainly wouldn't want you to go against your beliefs, but let us just say that you would have to maybe adjust them slightly. Would you be all right with that? Would you be all right with re-examining your philosophy to some degree?
I believe so. Yeah.
Excellent. Jovan, I'm going to write something down on a piece of paper.
There's a number.
Very well.
So is that a scrap of parchment?
Senator said to accept their
My
offer.
paranoia is off the charts.
Get a hold of yourself, Merek. It's all gonna be okay.
Metal's been watching us all along.
Just turn a blind eye. Just don't look.
That is correct, Jovan. Those are 6 zeros.
Viewers, what I'm going to slide to Jovan here may or may not come up in the video. They won't know what it is unless he decides to tell them later.
By the time we see it in the video, it'll be a year later.
I'd ask you to keep it quiet until you meet them and can tell them in person.
Okay.
And Lalo slides the parchment across to you. Katros leans in eagerly. What is your answer?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
No. No.
You feel
I
you feel the blessings of your god
Mhm.
descend upon you. Increase your luck by +1.
yes.
Necho is pleased.
Oh.
Very pleased.
Yes.
So he does that, and then Lalos leans forward a bit more and goes, "We'll make preparations and be in contact with you, Jovan. Please, for the rest of the evening, enjoy the party. And please, take good care of your companions. They are disturbed, and they need as much help as they can get."
You should get to know them, Lalos. They are worthy of trust. They care about this city and its people.
Perhaps in time. Perhaps. And he smiles a bit and he stands up and he goes, "But, of course, you understand that were you to accept this offer, your loyalty to them would have to lessen. Perhaps disappear."
I don't know that it could disappear, but I could make.
But if their aims ever
I
worked,
could compromise.
if their aims ever worked contradictory to the deal presented, you would side with the right side, wouldn't you?
I would.
Netro's blessings descend upon you. And then Lalos goes, "Excellent. Well, feel free to remain here as long as you wish. When you are ready, return to the party." And Katros gets up and claps you on the back and goes and gives you a hot thumbs up. and goes, "I can't wait to get you fitted." Nah, whatever. And they both stride out, and Laos bows and closes the door behind him. And over in the corner of your eye,
Mm-hmm.
you see, which is weird because the room seems to be totally clean, a red ant and a black ant. And once again, the red ant rips the head of the black ant right off.
The right hand, like after being covered in dirt or
yeah.
whatever it was.
Rips the head of the black ant right off. And your god is pleased.
I understand.
So that's where we end it for tonight.
Okay, so just to clarify, Lalos and Katros leaves with Jovan and they close the door behind them.
Yeah.
So it's not like Lalo stays in the room.
Oh no, they leave Jovan in the room. He can stay there if he wants.
They leave him.
Yeah, they leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see.
They like leave me to think it over.
They offer to make you a paradigm.
They just can't say.
Can't say.
Can't say.